So if you already have read my title for this video, you're probably wondering, what do you mean my sign's not real? But this is more of a basic video for people who are just getting into astrology and want to know more about the basics. There may have been some things that you've read online or that you've seen before where you've applied your sun sign, which is the sign that when you Google what is my sign, it tells you based off of the day that you were born. And it hasn't always related to you, or you've read it and you've been like, this is entirely not me at all. It's fake. So if you've ever wondered why that could be, it's because your sun sign, in my personal opinion, holds like 10% of who you are astrologically. So for instance, whatever you've been told before, say that you were told you were a Taurus your whole life, and everything related to being materialistic or being stable or needing to never have change has never related to you, and then later on you find out more about astrology and you plug in your moon sign or you plug in your rising sign, and then you come to find out that you have a moon in Sagittarius, which is known to be a big adventurer and doesn't like to be doing something the same for too long and constantly wants to change and newness. That's because there is the sun sign, but then there's also an entire chart specifically catered to your astrological DNA or makeup, and you have the rising sign. The rising sign is what they call the ascendant, and so when people meet you, and say that someone has met you before and got the worst impression of you or said something about you that you were like, this is not me at all, where are you getting this? It's because that's what you come across as and what you look like to other people without even knowing it. So say you come off really quiet and timid and you have like a earth or a water sign as rising, but actually you're loud and obnoxious and vocal, and people are getting an impression that you're shy when you're not. That's because of the ascendant. And then, in my opinion, I just feel like moon signs are more strongly influencing you versus your sun sign, and why I feel like that is because your moon sign is how you deal with emotions, like that's how you deal with feelings. So say for instance, you don't relate to your sun sign and you're reading all of these things about in astrology talking about your sign, which is say it's Leo or say it's Scorpio, and say everything that you read about it isn't really pertaining to you. It's because you should be looking, in my opinion, at your moon sign placement. I think that is way strongly more contributing to who you are versus your sun sign, because it's how you deal with emotions, it's how you react to things around you. So it's when you're navigating the world or you're taking something in for the first time or someone's telling you something, that feeling that you get and that reaction that you give is based off of your moon sign and not your sun sign. Now, I'm not saying that your sun sign has zero to do with who you are or what you are, because sun sign is the core of you. It affects every aspect of your chart in a way. So it's like, say you have a Scorpio moon and a Cancer sun, so you'll still give off empathic or caring tendencies, but maybe you'll be more blunt about it. Like, I'm not saying that your sun astrology is fake or that it's untrue entirely, but I'm saying that it does not make up everything that you are. And so, firstly, what I would do if I was just now getting into astrology, just now watching this video for the first time, and someone is telling me, like, hey, your sun sign, not that important, I would go to the website astrotheme.com or Cafe Astrology. There's also an Astro Charts, but I'll link it all down below. And I would just take in everything else. I'm not saying that the moon is more important or the most important in your chart, because with astrology, everything is so complex and intricate, so there's every single aspect of your chart, even if it's an asteroid versus a planet, it still has significance to who you are, but it's not going to be the first way that you would receive something or react to something. But it's not going to be the first initial reaction that you give to people when you hear something new for the first time. That's always going to be your moon sign. Yes, tomorrow is the last day of Mercury retrograde, and it has been in Aries this whole time, which has probably been really temperamental for a lot of people, or just making people feel physically exhausted. I've personally been overexerting myself. I feel like all of my energy has been multiplied during this retrograde period. I haven't been writing a lot, but I've definitely been filming more, and I've just been doing more readings, and so I just feel like retrograde periods, they work very personally and specific to each person. I don't feel like all retrogrades are the same. I do feel like where Mercury is in your natal chart, and say that the Mercury retrograde season is in Aries, I feel like where Aries is in your chart also is how you can be affected. Just those things to take into consideration. So I do feel like once we get out of retrograde period, everything that's kind of been working out now or not working out now, it's going to change. So it does not want me to record. Okay, I'm gonna record now.